All right, now we're going to check in with Jill Balland. Jill, you're hanging out at Calgary's first 100% sustainable house.
Yeah, exactly. This is actually called Discovery 4, you guys. So there were 3 others prior to that, but they're in Red Deer. So this is Calgary's first, and we're in Mackenzie Town. So made the drive all the way out here. It's beautiful, it's quiet, and check out this house. I mean, it looks gorgeous, and it looks absolutely like any other home that you might want to buy. So we're going to take you on a tour, you guys, of a Netzero home and find out exactly what that is. It's a little cold in here. It's a little chilly, and we haven't found a TV, so those are the only 2 differences.
Well, but electricity, of course, is running, and I'm sure there are toilets, so that's good.
Yes, there are toilets. I found that one a little bit earlier this morning. Thanks very much, Tara. Yes, we need to find the important things here in the Netzero home. And it is a little bit cold, but that's because we've dragged our cables in and the door is open. But for the most part, it would not be this cold. We just haven't turned the heat on, right, Ryan?
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's go through the system here that brings in the heat into the home. And first off, actually, maybe tell me a little bit about a Netzero home and what that means.
Okay. Well, a Netzero home is a home that produces as much energy as it consumes on an annual basis. So basically, what we've tried to do is we've tried to build a very good building envelope, something that contains the heat, and then we put on renewable energies such as solar thermal or photovoltaic to produce the heat heat and energy we require over the year.
Okay, let's talk about that magical envelope that you mentioned, and this is it right here. This is what you've developed here to keep the heat inside. What I'm going to do, so cameraman Nick can get a tight shot of that, I'm going to cross over here. So tell me a little bit about this system.
All right. So what we have here, actually, I've got 3 different displays. I've got your standard wall here. This is an R20 wall. Then what we've done in our Avalon product, we've added this 1.5 inch of polystyrene. So this gets you about 40 to 50% more energy efficient than your average wall system.
Right.
Then what we've gone for Netzero, because we need to contain all that heat, we need to make it super insulated, is we've gone with this structural insulated panel. And this is it's a SIPS panel, and it is an R40 panel.
Okay.
So this is about 100% more energy efficient than your standard wall. So it ends up being very, very energy efficient. You end up with a house that is very well insulated, very airtight.
Okay.
So this is your first step to building a Netzero house. You want to build a house that contains all that heat.
Okay. I think the question that a lot of people will have is, does it cost more? Am I going to pay a lot more to get this type of system, which is brand new?
Right. The SIPS panel has been around for a little while. When you go up, of course, this is your standard wall. This is what everybody builds. Now, through some, if you do some optimum value engineering, you can add this for almost no extra cost to your wall.
Right.
When you get up into this, you are looking at a premium, but probably about a 5% premium on the house.
Okay.
Maybe even less to get up into the Netzero wall system.
Okay. And overall, you're helping the environment, which is the big payoff.
Exactly. Well, you're helping the environment, you're helping your wallet. At the end of the day, when you don't have a bill to pay, that's kind of nice.
Okay, very cool. We're going to go through the control system here just around the corner, this very cool computer that controls everything in the house here, guys. And I'm going to show you a little something that I found in the kitchen, maybe a clue about the person who lives here a little bit later.
Oh, I thought you were going to see it now. Okay, we'll wait for that. Cool. In the meantime, she built up that suspense.
I know.
Well, okay, while we're waiting for that, let's check in with Dave Will for some traffic.
Good morning. We're live on location this morning at Calgary's very first Netzero home. That's right. It's all about energy efficiency here. And Ryan Scott is going to take me through something that's really cool, this little gadget that's behind you. And this computer monitor shows what, Ryan?
Okay, well, this computer monitor is a touch screen. And this shows, right now we're on the summary page. So this shows the total consumption of the house. It shows how much PV we've produced, and it shows our balance. So we're actually ahead here, 1.47 kilowatts.
Okay.
So when we look at our Netzero house, really what we're saying here is we're a little bit ahead right now. Over the winter, we'll expect that to get eaten up, but over the year, we're going to balance out. So other interesting things as we go through here is we can also go into our main floor, and we can also take a look at, say, a refrigerator. And when we look at our refrigerator, we can say weekly, how much energy have we used? And so we can look at each appliance and determine how much energy we're using, how efficient we're using things, and we could actually take this and we can convert this into dollars. We know how much it's costing us. So
and how much money you're saving.
Exactly, and how much money you're saving, yes.
Which is the big ticket.
That's really the concept here. When we look at this as well, we can look at the renewable energy we're producing. So we could say, you know, we can chart the renewable energy here, and we can say weekly, here's how much energy we've produced on the house. So this is our photovoltaic panels, and this shows how much we've actually really saved on the home. So this is a really neat feature. This is really something that allows you to look at it and determine how you're living in the house, how you can live maybe a little more efficiently.
Yeah.
And the other really cool thing is this also could play your iTunes. This could play, you could put recipes on this. So it actually operates as more of a whole home type system as well.
And developed here in Calgary.
Yes, this is developed by TRLabs in Calgary in conjunction with SAIT. And so the cool part about this as well is you can plug in almost any type of device into this. So you can plug in different features, different panels. You know, it's really been developed to take an all sources type approach to programming.
How cool
so it's
is
really
that?
neat.
And the neatest part is that you don't even have to pay an energy bill if you were to move into a net zero home. How awesome is that? Brian Keating is going to be with us after the break.
Thank you, Andrew Schultz, for the weather update. Now let's check in with Jill Bellin and see what she's up to right now. Jill.
Good morning. Well, we're live on location this morning at Calgary's very first net zero home, and we've been meeting new friends this morning, a lot of people who are into green living here. We're outside the net zero home. Now we're going to be talking with David, who developed some really cool solar powered things. But you know Ryan Scott, who we've been talking to all morning long, who is the CEO of Avalon, the builder of this home. He's 6'7", you guys. We're just going to do a little pan and check out the car that Ryan drives. It's a smart car. So he folds himself into that daily.
What?
He is committed to green living, you guys.
I would love to see that. That's like, it's sort of like the clowns getting out of the little car. Like, he's just so big.
Yeah, is it a tight fit there, Ryan?
Get him to go in.
He likes it. It's comfortable. It's a comfortable ride here. And talking about new technologies down here, Calgary's very first net zero home. Now, Dave, you were involved in the building of this home, and last time we actually spoke with you at the SAIT campus, we were putting solar powers onto a house. So tell us a little bit about the partnership between SAIT and Avalon here.
So SAIT's actively been working with Avalon basically to build their net zero homes, and so we're hoping to produce one per year as part of a green building technology research program. And so the Applied Research Department works with industry to demonstrate technology and prototype new technologies. So some of them are solar panels, some of it's the wall systems you looked at earlier, and even the interface with the home energy management system.
Okay, we're familiar with the solar panels that you would see on the roof, but what we're holding here is something brand new. What's this all about?
So this is a railing system that should be on the home and isn't on the home yet, but essentially we're going through patents. We've taken a big tube like this, which is an evacuated tube that generates heat, and we've shrunk it down to about half the size and actually turned it into a new product, a balcony railing or a balustrade, and that'll actually provide all the space heating for the house and replace your furnace.
And also the shutters.
And so the shutters, which you can see here flanking the windows, are inset into the wall and they power the domestic hot water heating. So we've effectively eliminated the need for natural gas in the house.
There's no gas line to this house.
No gas line whatsoever. And so, yes, we do use electricity as a backup for the appliances, but the PV that's on the roof provides all that power.
Do you think this is the future? Solar-powered railings, solar-powered shuttles, solar-powered panels up on the rooftop, that this could be in the mainstream in the future?
I think when it's this beautiful, yeah, for sure. Because, I mean, we've taken it away from a Mr. Potato Head kind of slap it on technology and turned it into something that looks really nice. It obviously blends well with the community. I think people really like it, yeah.
Okay, awesome. We're going to be talking about xeriscaping still ahead here on Breakfast Television. And Andy Schultz is standing by, hopefully with sun in the forecast. Still ahead on BT. Stay with us.
Thank you, meteorologist Andrew Schultz, for that weather update. Now let's check in with Jill Belland and see what she's up to as we round out the show. Jill.
Yeah, good morning. We've been live on location all morning long. Calgary's very first net zero home. Now we're in Mackenzie Town, and not all of the homes here are net zero homes, but this is a partnership, of course, and it's also open to the public. So we're going to actually post the address on our website, breakfasttelevision.ca. So if you're interested in coming and touring the home, it is for sale, and you can go inside and go through the whole house yourself. Now, David, tell me a little bit about the challenges bringing this home into this community.
Sure. Two big challenges that was out to the design team. One was, how do you build a home like this on the SAIT campus and bring it down here? And the second was, how do you bring a home with this much technology in it and integrate it into a community of 15 years with some expectations around design? So it was a big challenge. I think the design team did a wonderful job when you look at all the panels that are on this home, the solar shutters, the balustrades that are going to be coming on the home. It was a great design exercise. And then the challenge of bringing that home in after being taken apart in 5 pieces on the SAIT campus and bringing it down into the community was a wonderful challenge, and they succeeded.
Yeah, it looks like it slides right in here to the community, and it doesn't look like a spaceship, which you might think like a solar home. Looks something very futuristic, but it looks like it fits right in here. And that's partly due to landscaping as well, Marion. You're in charge of this. It's called xeriscaping. What is xeriscaping?
Well, xeriscaping essentially is incorporating the same ideas that they use in the home with sustainability and putting it in your landscape. Some of the big things we needed to do was we needed to reduce our irrigation demand, and grass needs a lot of water. So if you see on site, there isn't very much grass, and the grass that we did use, we used a special fescue blend that reduces the amount of water needed. It essentially is drought tolerant. Another thing we did is we created dry ponds. Well, they're wet today because it rained on the weekend, but essentially the water collects in these dry ponds and allows it to irrigate the different plants in the area, and also excess water can permeate through the soil and return water to the natural aquifers.
Do I actually have to water my lawn ever?
No, you don't. Well, you need to water to establish the roots when you first plant these plants, but once they've been established, the natural rainwater will do all its work for you.
How cool is that?
Another
one more thing?
We used water-wise plants. All the plants you see here need very little water once they're established. We've got some junipers, we've got rose bushes, honeysuckle. These are all native plants to Alberta, and they look great as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much for taking us on a tour, and we're happy to have been hosted here, Calgary's very first net zero home, and you can tour Discovery 4, and as I mentioned, we'll post that website on our address, breakfasttelevision.ca.
Super cool.
Thanks, Jill. Now I've got some landscaping tips. So I have a question for you. What are you up to tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're hanging out with the Calgary Boy Scouts. You know we love our Scout popcorn, so we're going to be having some of that, making breakfast and earning badges with the Calgary Boy Scouts tomorrow morning.
Between the Girl Guide cookies that have been around here and the Boy Scout popcorn, I got to go to the gym.
Danger zone, I know.
Very much. Okay, we'll catch up with you tomorrow, Jill. Thanks.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Did you just say carbtastic? Absolutely.
I've never even heard of Boy Scout popcorn.
We had some. I think you were eating it the other day.
Oh, those bats?
Yeah.
Do they have that across Canada, or is that just an Alberta thing?
I think it's across Canada, and I think
amazing.
it's delicious. So Jill gets some tomorrow. Coming up after the break, of course, we get a lot from Everyday's show. We're going to talk about what we learned. All right, it's 8:54, currently 8 degrees. You're watching Breakfast Television right here on City TV.